Ladies and gentlemen, what it do? I am your host, Young, Bold, Easy, and I would like to welcome you to the show. You are now tuned in to Knicks and Dimes. If you're returning to the show, I would like to say welcome back. If this is your first time, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your peoples. Please do. Please do. All right. Today, we're going to be covering my predictions on the season's awards. This is the real early season awards. So such as Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, etc. All right? Stay tuned. If you didn't know, tomorrow we got Media Day. Where everybody get right. They're going to start taking pictures and all that stuff. You check out the new jerseys, man. Have you thinking, man, I might have to cop that one. Um, Hopefully we see some new interesting jerseys. Who knows when that's going to be released, but that's tomorrow. Tuesday, we finally get down to the nitty-gritty. All the teams' rosters are finally in place, unless some of them got those COVID protocols that you're hearing a lot about these days. Some players might not be in certain situations, but Brooklyn. Uh, we everybody's getting down to the nitty-gritty, like I said. And we're going to ball out and start fighting for these rotation spots, trying to get a spot on the roster in general. So the season is upon us. It's getting real close. You could almost taste it. And then October 3rd is when preseason begins. So, man, we so close. We so close, man, and I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it, man. Like I said, I got some high hopes for this season. This season is just not even just for the Knicks, but just in general, man, this season should be very entertaining. But now we're going to get right back to the topic, which is my early season award predictions. We're going to start off with none other than Coach of the Year. All right. My first candidate for Coach of the Year. Some of these might surprise you, man. Some of these might not, man. But first up is Quinn Snyder. All right, if you done seen my roster breakdown of all these Western Conference teams, when I got to Utah, you could see I was a huge fan of what they're doing over there. I think Utah is going to be one of the. It's going to be a new, entertaining version of the Spurs over there. But it's like, instead of that boring play, it's actually going to have some entertaining ballers. So I think Quinn Snyder is going to put it together really nicely. He got great people on the roster. Of course, you got the Bogdanovic, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got Rudy Gobert, but then on the bench you got Hassan Whiteside, Rudy Gay, Eric Pascal, you got Jared Butler, Jordan Clarkson, of course. Man, I think Quinn Snyder is going to put something beautiful together for that roster, and which is going to definitely lead him to being. And I also got them possibly being a 1 seed, man. It's just a matter of how the schedules are broken down, I think, for each team. But I think Utah definitely puts up a fight for that number 1 spot in the Western Conference. Would that mean that they're the best team? Technically, record-wise, yes. But power ranking-wise, it might be a different story. But that's something that, players got to get on the court and prove. But number 1 is Quinn Snyder. Next, no bias, is Tom Thibodeau. Man, what can I say? What can I say, man? Reigning Coach of the Year. We got to rub that in there. Make sure y'all know what's up. Our team gotten better. There's no doubt about it. You can't argue that our team has gotten better. And Tom Thibodeau, even with now more scorers on hand and some rookies that's able to play two-way, whether they see the floor or not, I think he's going to, find a way to get everybody to gel and play with that intensity. And I think we're going to win a lot of games. They got us for 41. I'm thinking we could crack 50. I think we could go 50-32 this season because I think our defense is going to win us a lot of games, and we're going to surprise a lot of teams that's thinking they could just come out here and play a little lackadaisical, and we're going to have that same intensity every night. So I think we could crack 50 games. Let me speak that into existence because who knows where that might put us in the seeding. So Knicks, man, 50 games. You know how that go. I think it's going to be a great season, which is going to put Tom Thibodeau in a position to probably lock up a second Coach of the Year award in a row. You know what I'm saying? So number 2, Tom Thibodeau. Number 3, I got Nate McMillan. I'm eventually I might get bashed for by a couple fellow Knicks fans, man, because I'm always commenting on what's going over in Atlanta, and for it to be such a fresh rivalry, it's just, I mean, it's hard to really constantly keep complimenting these guys, but if you're keeping it real, these dudes are doing the right things, man. Like, what do you want from me? Like, they just doing the right things. The team has gotten better, in my opinion. Nate McMillan has already proved what he can do. He put a couple of guys that you probably wouldn't even give credit for being such a defensive team. I wouldn't say they're a defensive team per se, but they don't like that defensive intensity that they're, to pull out in the fourth quarter, make a couple stops, and, win a game. Win a game. We all know that they're talented offensively. I just think they're moving in the right direction. And that's going to lock up a position for Nate McMillan to get up there. And I think they could be a top 3 seed in the East. That's my peak for them. I think they could be a 3rd seed in the East. And if you factor in injuries and all that stuff, which I'm not really banking on, it's possible they could slide into a number 2 or number 1, depending how the schedule is broken down. Sometimes the schedule favors certain teams more than the next. So you never know. I think Atlanta Hawks and Nate McMillan could definitely be a top 3 seed this season. All right. So that's my top 3 for Coach of the Year. Next up, we got Defensive Player of the Year. All right, so I'm just going to jump straight into this. You can't say Defensive Player of the Year without the what? Is it back-to-back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year? Or maybe just back-to-back? Listen, it don't matter. He got 3 of them. You got to start off with Rudy Gobert. It's just plain and simple, man. He's a catalyst for Utah there. He just holds everything down. He holds the force down, and he doesn't miss too many games. He's somebody who stays on the floor, so they always have that defensive presence around, which is another reason why I think they could be up in that 1 seed. He might not be the greatest scorer, putting the ball in the hoop, but he finds a way. He definitely finds a way to have multiple games to do 20 points and all that stuff, although he's from the family of the DeAndre Jordans and Tyson Chandler, which is just pick and roll and, throw me an alley, or I pump fake a couple times and then dunk it, or offensive rebound and I put it back in. Nonetheless, you got to respect his game, and what he does on defense, man, is just, he covers so much ground. Already, 7 foot, 7'1", and then when he's sliding out wingspan, he's very, very mobile. Got to put some respect on it. Some people might not like his game, but it's effective, and the numbers show it, and his awards show it. All right. So number 2, I got what some people might find surprising, man. It's kind of a hot take. I'm gonna go with Dillon Brooks. All right, from the Memphis Grizzlies. Dillon Brooks, if you didn't know, man, he's averaging the most fouls in the league. He's a certified hack. He's definitely he plays in Memphis for a reason. I think he took that to heart. He's another Tony Allen in the flesh. He's just light skinned. he's a hack. But at the same time, he plays great defense. I think if you're going to use all your fouls, go ahead, do what you got to do, as long as it's not hurting teams. When you're in that double bonus kind of situation or an NBA bonus. But Dylan Brooks is a great defender. Great defender. I like him a lot, and I think this year he turns it up because I think the Grizzlies are going a little more defensively this year. I think they're going to be able to score if Jaren Jackson is able to stay healthy and Ja Morant is going in and stepping into that three-point shot much more confidently. They definitely going to be able to score. Dylan Brooks can already score. So if Jaren Jackson is healthy, Ja Morant is doing his thing, Dylan Brooks is going to deliver. I definitely have faith in him to do so. You got Steven Adams and Dylan Brooks in that starting lineup to anchor defense, and him knowing that he has that type of support behind him, I think that's just going to be a different feeling. Ja Morant ain't scared to play defense either, neither is Jaren Jackson. So I think it's just going to be a mentality, and they already called it. It's I don't know what's the nickname for Memphis Grizzlies, where they grind it out, but I definitely have Dylan Brooks making a stamp in the league and letting everybody know. I'm putting everybody on notice that I could play some defense. So Dylan Brooks is my hot take for Defensive Player of the Year at number 2. All right, number 3, I got Giannis Antetokounmpo. All right. I mean, what can you say, man? We all know Giannis plays defense. We know what Giannis can do. He got a couple MVP trophies. We know what he could do offensively. But I think defensively, this is somebody who leads his team in points, rebounds, assists. Granted, those aren't defensive stats, but it's a testament to his mobility. And that's something he could definitely do on defense. You've seen great plays in the finals with the chase down that was almost similar to LeBron. And I think that's going to keep going. And this season, I think he's ramped up. He's already saying that he doesn't want to be called champ because that puts you in a comfortable state. He's out for more blood. He wants more. He's still hungry. One championship is not enough, is the way it's sounding to me. And I think he's going to be out there trying to prove that on both sides of the floor. So another hot take is Giannis for Defensive Player of the Year candidate at number 3 for me. All right. Next up, we got Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year, man. This one, man, a lot of people might think this is easy, and it's possible, But I'm going to start straight off with my hot take. And I'm mad at myself, but at the same time, I got to keep it real. I like Jalen Johnson, man, from Atlanta Hawks. Yo, this kid, man, I think he's going to be cooking 3s and 4s for a long time in this league. I think he has that type of potential. I don't necessarily know whose game I could compare him to yet. I'm pretty sure if I put some thought to it, I could definitely find a name. But he's tall, lengthy, man, could move and turn around jump shots. Man, he really showed up in the summer league. Spot up shots from outside. He could create his own shot, go inside the back, inside to the paint. He could look. He's 3-tier. He's a triple threat. He can shoot from outside. He can shoot mid range. He could go in the paint and he could dunk on you. And with my previous video, thinking that Cam Reddish is somebody who could be out, Hunter is somebody who's been injury riddled. I think this dude has a chance to constantly show what's up. Is it enough to be Rookie of the Year? It would just be a matter of how many minutes he's getting. But this dude is, I don't know. To me, he's a baller. Like, I think he's gonna be, like I said, cooking 3s and 4s for a long time. So I think it's just a matter of his minutes. But if he's in the game, he's definitely going to be effective. I don't think he's scared to play ball. I think he's ready to play with the big guys already. Number two, I mean, you got to go with the number one pick, Motorcade Cunningham. A lot of people obviously think that's the way it's going to lean. And to be honest, me personally, I feel like that's the way it's going to lean. Um, Being a Detroit Pistons, you just got to let him play. You just got to let him go out there and show what he could do. And he's going to show what he could do. Cade is just too poised. He's not out to be playing these games that, some rookies might be playing. And, I got to get my feet wet. This dude's season. He's ready to go ASAP. There's a reason why he's the number one pick. Um, he's just, if I had a pick, your safe bet would be Cade Cunningham, obviously. All right. So I'm not even going to spend too much time on it. I'm going to go straight into the next one, which also is not a surprise. It's the person that's right after him in the draft, and that's Jalen Green. Jalen Green is somebody who I think is one, he's going to have the minutes to deliver on the Houston Rockets. They don't have, he's, I wouldn't call him the star of the team, but if you're going to, if you're playing 2K, he's probably the one that has the star on his name. It's just, it's just that flat out. Uh, he's a scorer. Obviously, we know what Jalen Green could do. I hope you know what Jalen Green could do. But I think he's the one of those type of rookies that's going to have a little more time just getting his feet wet, adapting to the game, and he's going to have a lot of more room to make mistakes because the Houston Rockets are not someone who's going to be necessarily competing. But the struggles that he's going to go through, I don't have Cade Cunningham going through those struggles, which is why Cade might just coast to this Rookie of the Year award. But nonetheless, I got Jalen Green at number 3 for Rookie of the Year. And when I say that, that's just my 3 candidates. It's not top 3, obviously, because I just said Cade is probably my pick, but you get it. Next, we got 6th Man of the Year. And with this was the hardest one, I think, for me to do. 6th Man of the Year, obviously. I just gave high praise to the Utah Jazz. You got to show love to the reigning 6th Man of the Year, Jordan Clarkson. I believe that might be his second one, man. I could be wrong, but you got to show Jordan Clarkson some love. He's going to come out there. He's a flamethrower. He's the first person off that Utah bench, typically. Sometimes even starting if there's an injury. It's not enough things you can say about Jordan Clarkson, man. He's really, really a great player. That's a starter. It's like the Manu Ginobili's and that type of family. These dudes normally have no business coming off the bench. But you just got to put some respect on him and have to put him in that running for 6th Man of the Year. So that's the easy one. I'm going to get that one out of the way with Jordan Clarkson. Number 2, hot take. I got Terry Rozier, man. Terry Rozier. Scary Terry. Now, the one thing why this was tough for me is how are they going to break down that lineup? I'm thinking if they go LaMelo, Gordon Hayward at the 2, Miles Bridges at the 3, P.J. Washington at the 4, and then they got Plumlee and I'm forgetting the other center's name. I believe he's like a second-year player. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name, but anyway, if Terry is coming off that bench, man, I think some scary things could happen, no pun intended, which is why I got him in the 6th Man of the Year running. It's just a tough one to pick. It's just because I don't know how they're going to make that lineup. But personally, if I was the coach, I would go out there with Melo, Gordon Hayward at the 2, Miles Bridges at the 3, P.J. Washington at the 4. But at the same time, I could just see them playing Gordon at the 3 and Scary Terry at the 2 because I don't know how Miles Bridges is going to fit there with P.J. Washington. They both can step out and shoot, but Miles Bridges not so much. At least not yet, to a point that we're like super scared of it. But That's number 2 for me. Number 3, very, very hot take, man. I'm a fan of this dude, and I stated that before. Uh, Number 3 is Cam Johnson. Number 3 is Cam Johnson. I think Phoenix has a gem in Cam Johnson, and I think he's just going to take it to another level. You saw, I think his confidence was always there, but the confidence was definitely booming as the playoffs continue to go. I've always said that he has these timely buckets, man. It's he's just, for me, he's always there at the right time. He always just shows up at the right time, and I've always loved that. That's the type of player I would want on my team. He's not afraid to do the dirty work. He's gonna play defense. He's gonna cut to the basket. He's gonna he can hit the 3-point shot, and he'll go to the paint on you and put you in the basket. I mean, you could ask PJ Tucker. um, Cam Johnson, I think, is going to take another step forward. And yeah, man, I'm really, really anxious to see what he's going to do. I hope that they uh, put him in positions to do what he can do more. I feel like if you make some plays around him, this dude could really explode and make some beautiful things happen for your team. And I trust Monty Williams to do that. So we'll see how that plays out. Next, we got most improved player, and I wouldn't be a Knicks fan if I didn't state that. One of us won it in this recent year, Julius Randle, aka you gonna have to guard me. I mean, that's my personal nickname for him. Um, Most improved player, I got number 1, the Paul, Patrick Williams. He just literally fell with an injury that's going to have him out for about 4 to 6 weeks. Literally just got injured yesterday. Today is Sunday, if you don't know. You probably won't be seeing it on Sunday. But just to inform you that he just fell with an injury that's going to have him out 4 to 6 weeks. So I don't think that's too much to put him in a detrimental state to even run for a position like this if he's healthy for the remainder of the season once he comes back. Which is looking like maybe the first 2 or 3 weeks of the real season. So he's going to miss preseason. He's probably going to miss summer training camp, well, all of training camp. But the season's going to be ready to go, and I think he's ready to make a statement. Patrick Williams, they call him Kawhi Leonard, if you know, well, the next Kawhi Leonard. And you could see why he has that generic feel to his game, but nonetheless, like, he can get you buckets. He's going to play defense. He's going to do that dirty work. But still, that's a little too quick for me. If you know me, I'm a Kawhi Leonard fan. But Patrick Williams is somebody that I'm really, really looking forward to seeing go to the next level this year. And I think they got a great team around him. They're not completely full to the point where it'll take away from his ability to do what he got to do. But he definitely has a chance to explode and go to the next level, whether it's first unit or second unit. But I think he'll be starting once he comes back into the fold. Number 2, Michael Porter Jr. This just has to be this award should be it should be signed, sealed, delivered. Michael Porter Jr. should run away with this. I'd hate to put pressure on him, but just Michael Porter just got to just come with it, especially if Denver wants to really, really compete. You always have faith in what Jokic could do, and Jamal Murray coming back, but if they really want to be feared to a certain extent, Michael Porter Jr. has to, in a sense, say, this is my team. Cool, Jokic might be the person with the best stat line, but Michael Porter Jr. has to say, this is my team, and I'm going out there trying to kill. He should run away with this award. I think he could average around 23, 24 if the system is not primarily, obviously, running through him, but we're running way more plays for him. And Moses, not Moses. I'm forgetting the coach's name. Anyway, the coach of the Nuggets, I think, is a great coach, and I think he can do that for Michael Porter. So we'll see how it plays out. But normally, under normal circumstances, Michael Porter Jr. should run away with this award. It shouldn't even be debatable. All right. Number 3 for most improved player. R.J. Barrett. All right. I think the disrespect is done. All right. I think we finished with the disrespect this year. I think R.J. Barrett, even with the depth that we have and all the disrespect that's been looming all over his name recently, blah, 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 I think we finally get to see that R.J. Barrett could be an all-star quality player. Will he win the award? I don't know. We still got to see how the season plays out and who else is really putting up numbers. But as far as me just preaching for RJ, I think RJ is going to put himself, he's going to throw his name into that hat and really show what it's done. He's a hard worker. You see that in his work ethic, man. Yeah, he's working to get better, man. His 3-point percentage exploded. His regular shot field goal percentage exploded. Like everything about his game exploded from year 1 to year 2, which is why I don't understand the disrespect that he gets. But I think this year is over. I think this year they're gonna have to, bite their tongue on that. So number 3 for most improved player, I got none other than New York Knicks own R.J. Barrett. All right, and lastly, of course, you got the MVP award. MVP, man. It's easy, but it's not. One, you got to go with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is always going to be in the mix for MVP. Like I said before, because of what he does for his team. He leads in scoring, leads in rebounding, typically leads in assists. Maybe Holiday has taken the reins on that in the past season. That's not a stat that I've checked, but he's definitely been somebody who's always one of the leading people. Well, definitely leading points, rebounds, and one of the leaders with the assists. So he's doing everything for this team, and then they're winning games. So Giannis has to be thrown in there for the MVP talk. And I think this year he has a chance to lock up his 3rd MVP. And I'm actually curious to see what they can do. They're back healthy, and if they stay healthy, I think they've gotten better. I like the addition of Rodney Hood. And of course, Drew Holiday come back, and then they got that battery in their back. They got the ring. So who knows? Let's see how that turns out. But you got to throw Giannis into the fold. So number 1 for MVP candidate is, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Technical difficulties, but we right back into it. Next, I got Steph Curry. I got to go with the boy Steph, man. He was listen, he was holding down the team on multiple occasions, probably scoring more than half of the team's points. Maybe more than half is a stretch, but at least half of the team's points on the stretch with these 50-point games, man. And we already knew Steph was incredible, but what we seen last year, it just adds fuel to the fire. And I think this year, with his running mate coming back, hope Clay is healthy. It just makes it much more scary because he's not the only one you got. He doesn't have to work as hard for a shot. And the shot is still going in. And if Clay is even 75% of what Klay Thompson is, man, it's just going to have that attention swaying everywhere. You can't just run up and double Steph. he's going to be knocking these shots down, and then I think they're going to be winning some games. I think they could at least, if healthy, be a 4 or 5 seed. But if they really, really put it together, man, I'm not even going to put a cap on what they can do. The sky's the limit for these guys. We've seen these dudes operate before, and uh, 1 through 15, I think they're loaded, like loaded. So I'm not even going to put a cap on them, but I think at least if they stay healthy, they could be a 4 or 5 seed. All right. Next, this was really, really difficult because I'm thinking if this team plays balanced, then he won't necessarily need to go for MVP numbers. All right. But with his playing style and who he is at the end of the day, you gotta put some respect on it, and he can always, almost at will, not almost at will be an MVP candidate, and that is Kevin Durant. KD probably does not, with a healthy Harden coming back, and uh, hopefully a healthy Kyrie Irving. He's healthy now, but he's always been somewhat injury riddled. But you gotta you just gotta throw him in there, you know, because KD is KD at the end of the day. It's like you know who I am. But if by some chance this is the only one where I have a fourth candidate, and this is a hot take, if he somehow is playing balanced and they're still winning games, because they're gonna win games. They're gonna win games. Um, I dislike these dudes as much as anybody, because they're across the river from us. But they're gonna win games. If they're playing balanced and he doesn't need to go for these MVP numbers, the person I have taken his spot kills me to say Trey Young. I got Trey Young, man. I think Trey Young this year could go. He can average a double-double. The team they got around him is just ridiculous. Starting and bench, and I think their confidence going in, let alone what the Garden did for him, turning him into the villain, and then going against Philly and then facing Milwaukee and competing with. It was literally competing, I think that does wonders for his confidence. And for him to come in with the squad that he has again, I think he could definitely be somebody averaging 25 and 10 at the least. So that's a hot take. All right, we're gonna see how that turns out. But that puts an end to my list right there. I really hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoyed breaking down all these predictions for you. Definitely, definitely look forward to how this plays out. Look forward to how this plays out, man. But before I go, man, I want to say Luka is somebody who I would have on my list. I just don't think they're going to be winning games this year. I think he's always going to be somebody who could lead the league in scoring and put those numbers up and average close to the triple-double. But I don't think they're going to be winning as many games. And the other candidates are not only putting up these numbers, but they're going to be winning games. So I think that's the difference. I would have thrown Luka on the list. So I would have him in that top 5 for the MVP running, but I just don't think they're going to be winning games compared to the other candidates that are ahead of him. All right, so that's how I'm going to end it off. Love, gratitude, positive gratitude. I'm going to see you on the next one.